Okay, here we have a review of the order of operations. Order of operations starts with parentheses, then we move on to exponents. Next, what you're going to see is that we have multiplication and division in parentheses, and then addition and subtraction in parentheses. This is otherwise known as, some of you may have learned PEMDAS, which is just a way to help you remember the order of operations. PEMDAS stands for Please Excuse My Dear Aunt Sally. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of how you should do your work to simplify this expression right here. You're going to see this in when you put your work into Google Docs. What we have is an expression that says 16 minus the sum of 7 and 2 times 2 divided by 3 plus 2. This is an expression because there's no equal sign in here, so we can't call it an equation. And the goal here is to simplify this expression so it boils down to one single number. So if we follow the order of operations, the first thing that we have to do is what is in parentheses. So I'm only going to focus on the 7 plus 2 right now. Nothing else gets touched. So what happens is, because the first value in my expression is 16, and I'm not touching the 16 right now, I must put 16 into the first line of my work. I also did not touch the minus sign, so I'm going to bring that down. The next thing I'm going to do is just simplify the part that says 7 plus 2 in the parentheses, and 7 plus 2 is 9, so I'm going to put a 9 there. The next thing I have to do is bring down my times sign. I'm going to bring down my 2 because I did not touch that. Bring my forward slash, which is my division symbol. Bring down my 3. Bring down my plus sign. And bring down my 2. Now what I'm going to do in this is I'm going to put the letter in this column that represents which operation I just did. Technically I just did addition, but the addition was in parentheses, so I'm going to put a P to represent that. So this is what I just did to get to this step. For the next line of work, I need to reevaluate what needs to be done next. I see that I have subtraction, I have multiplication, I have division, and I have a plus sign. Now, I have no exponents here, so I'm going to move on to the next level. And the next level is multiplication and division. Now, some of you might think that multiplication always comes first, but technically, if there's multiplication and division, you must work from left to right. In this particular problem, it just so happens that we happen to have a multiplication to the left of the division, so I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to be multiplying 9 times 2. I'm not touching the 16, so I have to bring it down directly underneath where it was. I didn't touch my minus sign. Now, 9 times 2 is 18, so I'm going to put the 18 down. Now, I removed the 9 and 2 to make it 18, so I still have my division symbol, I still have my 3, and I still have my plus 2. So everything has to be brought down directly under where it originally was. Because I just did multiplication, I'm going to put an M. Now I have subtraction, division, and addition. So the next thing I have to do in the order of operations is division. So I bring down my 16, I bring down my minus sign, and 18 divided by 3 is 6. Then I bring down my plus sign and my 2. And so I just did division, so I come over to here and I say D because I just did division. And now I evaluate the last 2 steps. I have subtraction and addition. And although we have a way of remembering is saying Aunt Sally, it can also be Sally Aunt, which sounds a little strange, but within addition and subtraction you must move from left to right. So I have subtraction on the left, so I'm going to do that first. Well, 16 minus 6 is 10. Then I have my plus 2. And I'm going to say, okay, I just did subtraction. And my last step that I'm going to do in my order of operations is going to be the addition. So I'm going to say, okay, 10 plus 2 is 12, and that was done by doing addition. Once you get down to a single value like this, this is when you know you are finished.